Today is, guys, listen. You don't have a pencil? Okay, give me a second and I'll go get you one. Okay, please tell me what you need before we get started. Okay. All right, you don't need a calculator, put it back. You don't need a calculator, put it back. No, I didn't. All right, here we go. Name at the top. Today is the 5th. Today is Wednesday, the 5th. This is the 8th week. Okay. We are going to do our warm up. After which I'm going to introduce systems of linear equations. Here, use this for right now. Okay. I'm going to have to review graphing. And then if we have time, we will graph some systems. If we don't have time, then we'll come back and graph systems tomorrow. Your homework is Wednesday in the packet. Pause real quickly. All right, the assignments that are due this week, we have our warm-up. We have our homework. The warm-up is only going to be 2 days. We're going on the warm-up, we're only going to do 2 days of warm-up. We're probably going to do the Tuesday and the Wednesday, okay? So we'll cross out, actually, I would like to do this one. So let's just cross this one out. Let's do this one. And we might do these two tomorrow, okay? So we're doing Monday and Tuesday in the warm-up. Okay, and then you'll submit that on Friday, all right? Yes, babe. Yes. Homework, there's only 2 days. You have to wait until the pass comes back. Don't even raise your hand. When the pass comes back, you go. Homework, there's only 2 days you'll see as the homework. Don't forget, if you are ever absent, you need to watch the daily video. And you need to make sure that you use the Canvas page and your interactive notebook. Okay, these are your resources. Please don't forget. If you have any questions this week or you need tutoring this week, I am available this afternoon. So just, all you got to do is just text me if you need to and remind. I'll put remind on here. Okay? If you need additional help. All right, let's go to the warm-up. The essential questions are on the board. The first one is to describe how to write linear equations. Don't forget, there are 3 steps to writing linear equations. The first step to writing a linear equation is to find the slope. The letter for slope is M. The second to writing a linear equation is to find what? Anybody remember? The y-intercept. What letter represents the y-intercept? B. B. Where did you get K from? The third step is to substitute. What am I substituting? Substitute what? Anybody remember? Right, you substitute M and B. You're going to substitute the slope and the y-intercept into the slope-intercept form. Does anybody remember what the slope-intercept form is? Y equals mx plus b. Where this again is the slope. This is the y-intercept. And I'll pause to give you a chance to write, okay? Does everybody have a pencil? All right, describing how to graph. We did this one also, but it was a while back. So the first thing, number one, is the equation must be written in slope-intercept form. So write equation in slope-intercept form. And remember, we already talked about what the slope-intercept form looks like. It's this right here again. Y equals mx plus b. So the equation has to be written in that form first. The equation has to be written in that form first. Okay? Slope-intercept form, y equals mx plus b. Secondly, you're going to label your m and your b. So you're going to label your slope. The letter for slope again is m. And this is the and symbol, your y-intercept. The letter for y-intercept is b. So you're going to label those. Okay. Lastly, you're going to graph the y-intercept on the y-axis, and you're going to use m to put other points on the line. You're going to use the rise over run to plot other points on the line. So you're going to graph your b, or graph y-intercept, which is b again, on the y-axis. And use slope, or use your rise over run to put other points on the line. Don't forget m, the top number is rise, the bottom number is run, to graph other points. I wrote too big, sorry about that. Okay, and then the last two questions we're going to answer this week in what we're doing. These two questions were a review. We did that before Christmas. And then the last two questions, that's what we're covering in these 3 days. Okay? Any questions about that? If you forgot, please go back and look at your notes. Let's look at the warm-up. Anyone still writing before I move on? Because I can pause. I'll pause. All right, let's look at the warm-up. We're going to do this one. In the diagram, line R. This is line R right here. You can make it darker if you can't see it, but this is line R. It's parallel to line S. Parallel means that the two lines never cross each other. They have the same slope. They never cross each other. Okay, they never cross. They're on the same flat surface and never cross each other. They have the exact same slope. Okay, all right. Line, let's see. This line right here, the line that cuts the pair of parallel lines, this line is called a transversal. We talked about that. That's been a minute, maybe October-ish. We are trying to find the value of angle 3. Angle 3 is right here. This is the measure that we're trying to find. Let me try to zoom in just a little bit, okay? All right, so let's look at all the angles around it. Let's see if we can identify some things. The only measure they give us is this measurement right here, which is 152. This angle right here is vertical to this angle, so this is also 152. Okay. We know that if we look at this line here, and we look at this line here, and look at the transversal, these two angles are in the same position. These two angles correspond. So that means if this is 152, then this is also 152 because they correspond. They're both in the top left corner. They correspond with each other. So now we got to figure out what angle 3 is. Look, angle 2 and angle 3 are side by side. They're adjacent, but they are also supplementary. They form a straight line. So the two added together is 180. So then how do I figure out what angle 3 is if angle 2 and 3 combined is 180? Yes. Very good. So we're going to say 180 minus 152. And that's going to be your answer. You do that part on your own. And whatever you get, that's going to be your answer. Any questions about that? Okay. I'm going to pause for the calls. All right. Let's look at the homework. In the homework, you're writing equations. You're going to be writing equations here. Your equations that you're going to be writing is going to be written in slope-intercept form, y equals mx plus b. Slide this up. The m is going to be the rate or the slope, and the b is going to be the y-intercept or starting amount. So in this problem, you have to identify which one's the rate of increase or decrease. That's your m. Which one is the starting amount or your y-intercept? That's your b. And you plug the numbers into the slope-intercept form, and then that's your equation. So let's look at number 8. In order to join a yoga club, there is a $100 annual fee and a $5 fee for each class. Okay? So you have to decide which one of these is the slope or the rate of increase, decrease, and which one is the starting amount out of those two numbers. Which one is M? Is it 100 or is it 5? Yes, Tater. It is 5. $5 fee for each. That's a rate. If it's $5 for every single class or each class, that is a rate. So $5 is going to be your M. What's going to be the starting amount that you automatically have to pay? Yes, 100. So now how do I take this information and write it into an equation, y equals mx plus b? Go ahead, say again. Y equals 5x plus 100. And that's what you're going to do in these problems. Any questions? Okay. All right, I'm going to pause, give you a chance to write. Take out your interactive notebook. All right, so let's take out our notebook. The last page that we did was page 17, so this is going to be page 18. This is page 18, Systems of Linear Equations. DJ, go ahead.
Huh?
Go ahead. Oh. All right, here we go. Systems of linear equations. A system is more than one. A school system is more than one school. A bus system is more than one bus. So when they're talking about a system of something, they're talking about more than one of something. Okay? So a system of linear equations is where you have more than one linear equation that you're solving for. Okay? So here, We're going to do the definition. System of linear equations. And we're going to keep it simple. This is where you have more than one linear equation. Where you are solving problems that have more than one linear equation. In this course, we're only going to do 2 at a time, okay? We're not going to do 3 and 4. We're just going to do 2 linear equations at a time. In other courses, you'll have to solve where there may be 3 or 4 linear equations, and they ask you to find a solution. In this course, we're just going to do 2 linear equations that we're going to be asked to solve for, okay? Some other characteristics of a linear equation, okay? The linear equation, in a system of linear equations, the x values in both of the equations have the same meaning. The x values in both equations have the same meaning. That means if x represents the number of hours in one of the equations, it also represents the number of hours in the other equation. The x values in both equations have the same meaning. So if x is the number of days in one of the equations, it also is the number of days in the second equation as well. They have the same meaning. The same thing with y. The y values in both equations have the same meaning. Okay, and I'll pause for the calls to give you a chance to write, okay? I can get my mouse working. All right, here we go. So in this course, again, we are only going to do 2 equations, okay? We're going to solve for 2 equations at a time. All right, so what does that mean, Miss Reyes? What does it mean to solve, sorry, y'all, a system of linear equations? Really any kind of equations. It doesn't have to be linear, but since we're dealing with linear, we're just going to stick with that word. Okay, so what does it mean to solve a system of linear equations? That is a great question. Let's put a star beside it because this is super important. What it means is that you're finding all of the points that both of the lines share. So when you're solving a system of linear equations, you are trying to find all of the points that the 2 lines share. Okay, this is where you find all of the points the lines share. Okay, all the points that they share or where the lines cross, where they intersect. Okay. Types of solutions. All right, here we go. All right, let's suppose that you have two equations, and when you graph those two equations, sorry y'all couldn't see. When you graph those two equations, they cross or intersect at this one point right here. Whatever they cross each other, this point right here is the solution. Whatever this point is, this is the solution. That one point is the solution. So this system, where you have two linear equations, this system, it has one solution because the lines cross in one place. Yes. Mm-hmm. Always. No, you still need to write it down. You ain't gonna watch it later.
Yes, I am.
You're not.
I'm not.
Come on, you need to do it now. What happens if the video messes up and then I don't be able to do it? You need to go ahead and do it now. That's less you have to do later on. You ain't doing that. You just sitting there chilling. Might as well go ahead and do some work. You got this. All right. What if you have two lines and when you graph them, look at this, y'all, they don't cross each other at all. Okay? They don't cross each other at all. That means they don't share any points. Yes, go ahead. Wait for let her to come back. I forgot she's already gone. Since they don't share any points at all, this is a no solution. Because they don't share any points. They never cross each other. So if the lines never cross each other, they don't have a solution. They don't share any points. The last one. Let's suppose that I graph the line, the two lines, and they happen to be right on top of each other. See it? They're right on top of each other. That means they share all the same points. So this is infinitely many solution. It's infinitely many solutions because they share all of the same points. So these are the only types of solutions that you can have for a system of equations. It's either going to be one point because they cross each other and they share only one point. No solution, that means they're parallel and they never cross each other. Or infinitely many, which means that the lines are right on top of each other and they share all of the same points. Any questions about that? And I'll pause for the calls. All right, so now we're going to practice graphing equations because we haven't graphed equations in a while, and then we'll go through a graphing system where you're graphing more than one on the same coordinate plane. So we need to master graphing one first before we can graph two. All right, so let's do this first one. Get a piece. I like some scrap paper, but I don't know what I did with it. So I'll just get it out of my normal sheet. All right, so we're going to graph this equation. We're going to graph, and don't write this down just yet. Y is equal to, we're going to graph 2x minus 1. So in your notes, the first thing that I told you to do is that you must, let me show you where this is, because we did this today also. It's in your notebook, but we wrote it right here also. Write the equation in slope-intercept form. It's already written in slope-intercept form. It's written in y equals mx plus b. So the second step is to label your m and your b. Which one of these numbers is m and which one of these numbers is b? 2 is M, and 1 negative 1 is B. Okay? Don't forget about the minus sign. All right, so now you have to write your slope. If it's not written as rise over run or as a fraction, how do you write 2 as a fraction? 2 over 1. So now you have a rise and you have a run. So now you can graph this. Okay, so this is how you graph it. You're going to take negative 1, your B, sorry. You're going to take your B and find it on the y-axis. So negative 1 on the y-axis is down 1 from the origin right here. This is your starting amount. All right. So now you're going to take your rise over run, 2 over 1, and you're going to go rise 2 and run 1 to put other points on the line. So up 2 and to the right 1. So let's do that together. Go from here and go up 1, 2, and over 1. 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 Now you want points in the opposite direction. So instead of going up 2, go down 2. Instead of going to the right 1, go to the left 1. So it's down 1, 2, left 1. Down 1, 2, left 1. Down 1, 2, left 1. And connect your points and you have your line. Bless you. Any questions about how to graph that? Okay. I'm going to erase this. Let's do another one. Okay. So we have y is equal to, let's do negative 3x, and let's do plus 5. It's already written in y equals mx plus b form. So now we have to label the m and the b. What's my m and what's my b? Which one is m? Which one of these numbers is m? Taylor, which number is m? What kind of 3? Negative 3. Which one is b, Ramir? 5. Okay, so now we're writing m as a fraction. How do we write this integer as a fraction? How do we write this integer as a fraction? Put it over 1. This is my rise. This is my run. Okay. So now I can graph this. I'm going to find 5 on the y-axis. So let's do that first. 5 on the y-axis is 5 up from the origin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is where we start. Now, we're going to use rise over run to put other points on the line. My rise is negative 3, so that means I'm going to go down 3. My run is positive 1, so go to the right 1. So this is down 3 to the right 1. All right. So let's go down 1, 2, 3, and to the right 1. Down 1, 2, 3, and to the right 1. Down 1, 2, 3, and to the right 1. Down 1, 2, 3, and to the right 1. If I want points in the opposite direction, instead of going down 3, go up 3. Instead of going to the right 1, go to the left 1. So that's up 1, 2, 3, and to the right 1. That's to put points in the opposite direction. Connect your points. And this is how you graph a line. Any questions about that? Okay, let's do another one. Okay. Let's do y is equal to 1/2 x, and let's do -4. So it's already written in y equals mx plus b form. We have to label our m and label our b. What's our m in this equation here? 1/2. The top number is our rise. The bottom number is our run. We don't have to make it into a fraction. It's already a fraction. Okay? What's our b here? Carmela, make sure you're paying attention. -4, because it's a minus sign in front of it. It's going to be -4. Okay? So now we can graph this. So what are we going to do? After we label, what's the next step? What do we do after that? I labeled B. Graph B. So I'm going to find -4 on which axis? Y-axis. This is your y-axis. So -4 is down 4 from the origin. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is your starting amount. This is your y-intercept. Now I'm going to use rise over run. Your rise is 1. It's +1, so go up 1. Your run is 2, so you're going to go to the right 2. So up 1 to the right 2. Up 1 to the right 2. So we go up 1, right 1, 2. Up 1 and to the right, 1, 2. Up 1 and to the right, 1, 2. Up 1 and to the right, 1, 2. Up 1 and to the right. Okay, if I want points in the opposite direction, instead of going up 1, I go down 1. Instead of going to the right 2, I go to the left 2. So it's down 1 and left 1, 2. Down 1, left 1, 2. And connect your points. Make sure that you extend your line and put arrows. You can't see my arrows, but I'm putting arrows at the end of my lines. Okay? I'm going to give you this one to do on your own, and I want you to hold it up when you're finished. See if you can do that one on your own. Pause for the calls. Hold it up when you're finished. Okay, I'll see Aaliyah got it right. I don't see anybody else that got it right. So okay, that might be right too. All right, but you gotta put more points because I can't tell where your points are. That's that last where you got that line. I can't tell where that point is. All right, so you label your M and your B. What's your M, Kylie? What's your M? Kaylee. Is Kaylee, Kylie? Y'all sit right across from each other. Y'all don't think that's confusing to me? It is. Very confusing. But their names are too close to each other. Y'all sit right there, and it's like, oh my God, which one is which? I don't know. All right. It don't matter. Y'all, oh, I don't pay attention to features. You got a mask on. When you take your mask, I'm like, oh, who was that? Do I pay attention to your hair? I barely pay attention to mine. Listen, if I close my eyes, I don't know what I can't describe these stuff, folks. Which one's M? It's past the time. Which one is? Which one is M? Very good. Which one is B?
Oh, it is 6.
6. Okay. So I'm going to write this as a fraction. This is rise. This is run. Rise is -5, so that means I'm going to go down 5. Run is +1, so I'm going to the right 1. Okay. What do I do with the 6? How do I graph there? Y'all acting like this is brain surgery. It's the same thing we did before.
Graph it on the Y.
Graph it on the y-axis. Come on, y'all. Find positive 6 on the y-axis. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6. Now it says your rise is negative 5. So that's down 5. Your run is positive 1. So that's to the right 1. So this just starting. Go down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and to the right 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, to the right 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and to the right 1. The line looks a little crooked. Yeah, it's a little crooked. All right, and so that's what it should look like. The slope is a negative slope because the line should be going down. How do you know, Miss Reyes? Because look, it's a negative 5. Your slope is a negative. So your line should be going down. Okay. Let's try this one. Let's do y is equal to, let's do 2 over 3x, and let's do plus 1. Try this one. Label your M and your B. Which one's M and which one's B? Which one's M? 2/3. Which one's B? Positive 1. So now, what do we do after that? Graph which one? Very good. The y-intercept on which axis? Find one on the y-axis. It's right here. Make sure you extend your line and put arrows at the end. Don't do a short line because it's not a line segment. It's a line. It continues without end. So when you extend your line, you have to put arrows at the end of that line. All right, because some of you I see have short lines. All right, so this is your rise over your run. Rise means you go up because it's a positive 2, go up 2. Positive 3, go to the right 3. Okay, so it's up 2 and to the right 3. Up 1, 2, to the right 1, 2, 3. Up 1, 2, to the right 1, 2, 3. Up 1, 2, to the right 1, 2, 3. Okay. You want points in the opposite direction. Instead of going up 2, go down 2. Instead of going to the right 3, go to the left 3. So go down 1, 2, to the left 1, 2, 3. Down 1, 2, to the left 1, 2, 3. Down 1, 2, to the left 1, 2, 3. This has a positive slope. Okay, see if you can do this one. See if you can do that one. Same thing we did before. Label your M and your B. Okay? Do that first. Which one is your M? Yes. Negative 4 over 3. This is your rise. This is your run. Good job, babe. Which one is your B? 6. Positive 6. Okay? So now what are we going to do? How do we graph this? What are we going to do? Graph 6 on the y-axis. Graph 6 on the y-axis. That's up from the origin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. All right. So now look at your slope. -1 is your rise. That means down 4. I'm sorry, -4. Down 4 and to the right 3. So we're going to go down 4 to the right 3. Start here. Go down 1, 2, 3, 4. And to the right 1, 2, 3. Down 1, 2, 3, 4. And to the right 1, 2, 3. Down 1, 2, 3, 4. And to the right 1, 2, 3. Okay. Down 4, right 3. Down 4, right 3. Down 4, right 3. What if I want points in the opposite direction? Up 4. Very good. Left 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. And to the left 1, 2, 3. Ooh, that line is atrocious. Please try to make your line a little straighter than mine. You got it? I'm starting to get the hang of it a little bit. Okay. Erase this. All right, see if you can do this one. Bless you. Okay. So again, label your M and your B. Which one's your M? Which one's your B? Jaden, this will be why you guys don't know how to do this, because y'all sleep. Tap him again, babe.
Arise, my son, and you will be healed.
Y'all stupid. You are terrible. That's abuse.
I ain't even hit him. That was good.
No, you didn't hit him. All right, so it's 2 over 5. Not this time. We got rise over run. -3. All right. I need you to pass your boards up to the front. Your marker is your ticket out the door, okay? So hold on to your marker.